Welcome to MOTORVAULT Vehicles for Enthusiasts. I'm Josh, and we have this lovely 1958 Chevrolet Impala, the very first year of Impala production. Vehicles like this are what we love to represent. If you like this content, give us a like, follow, and subscribe, because this Impala, in its beautiful Fathom blue metallic, shines great and is from a gorgeous, gorgeous era of American iron in history. These cars as a standard car were so pretty, so large. They had so much meaning. Unlike, unfortunately, a lot of cars today, these cars harken back to an era where design and style were the forefront of motoring. So let's take a better look at this big American piece of iron. One thing about this Impala that is very obvious is that it is quite a large two-door automobile, 209 inches or 17 feet 5 inches. This car has quite a presence going down the road. They look truly incredible with all of the chrome, all of that glorious 1950s design, and that Fathom blue metallic paint just makes this car pop in the sunlight. Out of the sunlight, it still looks great, but it is very spectacular in this lighting. This one has the big engine, 348 cubic inch under the hood. We'll take a look at that at a moment, but just bask in the glory of this first year gem of a Chevrolet. Under the hood is a 348 cubic inch tri-power motor. Tri-power meaning 3 carburetors, 2 barrels apiece. Gave this engine 280 horsepower, over 300 foot-pounds of torque. It was really when Chevrolet started making true performance engines. This engine design later did turn into the 409 and was evolved again into the legendary 427. So this basic motor design was the start of a lot of very good things for Chevrolet. And with it being such a large car, you do need that big engine to get it moving down the road. And it sounds quite lovely with the dual exhausts and those 3 carbs opening right up. '50s American interior on cars are some of my most favorite of all time. They are so pure, they are so slim and simple, but also quite large. Large is a theme with everything with these cars. The oversized steering wheel, the two-tone paint, the gray and the blue. Actually, in this case, we got tri-tone, which is very pretty. The vinyl on this has been restored, as the entire car has, as this car was found in 2000 as a good original car, but it needed restoration. So the current family that owns the vehicle found it and restored it over a couple years, fully frame off in their garage. And this car was nicknamed Bonnie Sue after the owner's daughter, because she was the one who found the car all the way down south, and that's why it was a good rust-free example. She had her hand in the restoration, and while her and her family did one heck of a job on this car, it was restored 22 years ago, and it looks factory fresh. The paint on the interior is incredible. The gauges are all perfect. The headliner is in phenomenal shape. The seats are very cushy and cozy. And that paint, oh, you could just stare at it all day long. So kudos to them for doing a great job and keeping a great piece of American history on the road and running gloriously. There shockingly is actually a lot of space in the back seat for this car, being a 2-door, but again, being the 1950s, everything was bigger in scale. But again, with the detail with these cars, I mean, if you look right here, right in the center, I mean, you even have the Impala logo and everything carved right into the back of the seats. I mean, the level of detail was just awesome. Not only that, Very nice center rest, and a couple other cool cars come with the car. Obviously the hat, which cheers, and as well, very cool little photo book of when this car was picked up, 2000, 1999, 2000, and then you go through it and you see all of these restoration photos, the history of this car getting redone and brought back to life. Goes with the car, very, very cool. This Impala's got a great story to tell. With these cars, there was so much emphasis on making the design on these cars wickedly cool. You've got the glorious tire skirts on this, again, which is optional. You had all of this chrome, all of this great down the body work lines, including this really, really cool tail fin that starts all the way back at the C-pillar. In the late 50s, tail fins became a huge thing because of the whole entire jet era. And this one isn't super dramatic because it's nice and curved and dialed down, which was the nice thing about the Impala, because it was a very dialed down, understated, but very, very pretty car. The later cars, the tail fins got very, very sharp and aggressive. But the curvy, smooth aspect of this car with the triple taillights, with the rounded off bumper on the corner, with the dual exhaust, so much was thought into making this design absolutely pure, to the point you don't even see a gas cap. The reason why is it is hidden right under here. How cool is that? When this car was restored, this paint, the owners used 18 coats of paint. That is why it is so rich, so deep, and when that sun comes out like right now and the metallic pops, it is incredible. You have to see this car in person. In this era of car, they really don't drive like anything else. They really kind of float down the road. These are really true parade float cars, and I've been always curious to see how this car drives, especially with that massive V8 under the hood. So let's go take it for a quick spin. Taking a cruise in the 1958 Chevrolet Impala. First impressions, even before getting going, the restoration on this car was super nice. I mean, this car is very tight. It's not squeaking. It feels very proper, very correct for what should have been in the late 1950s. And it's so quiet, incredibly quiet, which makes this car quite lovely. So one thing, since it does have a bigger engine, if you give it gas, yeah, there you go. You'll hear the tires chirp, and it's got plenty of power. I mean, it moves down the road very well. I mean, it keeps up with traffic with no issue. Again, it's not as crazy amount of power as a lot of cars are today, especially for the weight, but it very much does the job. And you could tell that muscle car era that became in the 1960s, something was cooking with these cars. Them, Pontiac, Ford, I mean, everyone was starting to build more performance-oriented engines, but they weren't just there yet. No one was really flirting around with the 400 cubic inch motors plus yet, but that was coming soon enough. Very cool experience, and I'm spoiled because this is a incredible mint example of a 58 Impala. Here we go. Let's see. Very smooth, very nice. Great shift, smooth. No issues at all. Yeah, when they restored this one, they did everything. They rebuilt the engine, they pulled the body off the chassis. I mean, it was a lot of work that went into this car, and it has held up extremely well. Yeah, if you have not seen this color in person on this car, in the sunlight, it is a must. It is truly brilliant. These classic cars, American cars, doesn't even matter, it doesn't even have to be American. The amount of charm and enjoyment these cars give you. when you're cruising around on the street and taking yourself back to an era where everything was just, it was just building and so new and new inventions, but still so simple. Time was different back then, and time is great now, but it is very cool in this modern world to go back to the 1950s and feel a part of what it was like to order this car from Chevrolet, drive off the lot, and show your neighbors you got one bad car. The 1958 Impala started something great, and in my opinion is probably still the best looking out of all the Impalas. And old Bonnie Sue in triple blue, she is quite incredible. So I hope you guys got a kick out of today's video, checking out this 1958 Chevy Impala. Again, give us a like, subscribe, and follow for further content like this coming up, and we will see you guys in the next video.